Good morning. Thank you all for being here. My name is Morgan Jacobus. I'm a volunteer at MARTA Army. I have the honor and privilege of introducing MARTA Army's latest initiative, Operation Bus Stop Census. As our partners have shared this morning, the rising income inequality, changing climate, and lasting effects of racism underscore the need for safe, reliable, accessible, and sustainable public transportation. The lack of funding and regional-wide support for MARTA and transit in general has over time produced a transit system that struggles to connect many people in Metro Atlanta to the places where they can live, work, worship, and play. On Transit Equity Day, we were reminded that these failures disproportionately impact low-income communities, people of color, and people with disabilities, groups who are often disenfranchised by the political decision-making process that shapes our transportation network. As Metro Atlanta grows, one thing is clear: we must improve transit for all, and in particular for the most vulnerable and marginalized among us. If we do not, everyone will suffer. We will suffer in the form of lost economic potential and crippling congestion. We will also suffer in the form of disjointed communities and the needless traffic injuries and death. But it does not have to be this way. Nearly half of all daily MARTA trips in Atlanta are taken by bus. These trips start and end at a bus stop. Bus stops are the first line of hospitality in our transit network. It matters how they look and how they feel. However, many bus stops in the Metro Atlanta area lack basic features that give access, protection, and dignity to those who use them. Basic features like a bench to sit on after you've walked a quarter of a mile or rolled a quarter of a mile to the bus stop. I guess you're already in. Chair. Features like a shelter to stand under to protect yourself from the rain or from the sun, like a paved path or sidewalk that allows you to access the stop in a wheelchair. Understanding the gap between the needs of riders and existing conditions of bus stops is the first step toward making meaningful and effective change and improvements to our transit network. This is where Operation Bus Stop Census comes into effect. Similar to the United States Census, the mission of Operation Bus Stop Census is to provide quality data on the condition and amenities of bus stops and their impacts on riders. These data include everything from the presence of benches, trash cans, and shelters, to the state of crosswalks leading to the stop. We will catalog the key safety and accessibility features of MARTA bus stops to better inform advocacy efforts and to raise the standards of bus access in the region. Our goal over the next 6 months is to collect data from at least 25% of the over 9,000 MARTA bus stops in the Metro Atlanta area. The data we crowdsource will give advocates, stakeholders, and government leaders a better understanding of how the public experiences bus transportation. The question remains: how do we plan to collect data from over 2,000 bus stops in the Metro Atlanta area? As MARTA Army has done in the past, we will do so by seeking the help of the general public. Using your smartphone, anyone can go online to www.busstopcensus.com to crowdsource data. The site will lead the user to a map where they can select a bus stop to survey. The survey will also be available in a printable format. More information can be found on our website, martaarmy.org, or on our Facebook or Twitter page. Before we end, I would like to extend a special thanks to 4 people who have been pivotal in making this operation happen. Sid Kodapati, who's designed the website, has made everything work in the back end. Joshua Madwood, who's been great at designing our graphics, and they look beautiful. Becca Karyazis, who's done great in getting everything out about the press conference on our social media. And Sam Baskin, who's provided logistical support for the press conference today. I'd also like to thank our partners and for MARTA for getting this off the ground and for sharing our vision. I want to thank the MARTA Army Board and their leadership in pursuing efforts like this. And I want to thank transit riders everywhere who push us to fight the good fight for transit equity for all. And this concludes the end of our press conference. We will now open up for questions.